Hey guys, it's Ghost57 coming at you from the power of YouTube through the internet itself. Okay guys, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to change out this display on the iPhone 13. As you can see right there, it's pretty cracked up. So stay tuned for the video guys so I can show you how to do it. Okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So first off, you need some type of heat source to actually break apart the glue. I'm going to be using a heat gun today. And this is actually a really good kit I got off of Amazon. So everything that you need, including the bits and the screwdrivers and the prying tools, are all in this kit, including the glue that you're going to need. So it's pretty nifty to get this kit. It's an all-in-one kit. It costs about $130. If you just want the screen, you can find it anywhere from $80 to $100. I just wanted to show you this option just in case you didn't want to buy the iFixit kit and save some dollars there. So you can see you do have all the included screwdrivers that you're going to need to actually open up the iPhone and take apart the screen, including these little prying tools which come in handy, and the little tiny suction cup. It's kind of cute. And there's your SIM card remover. But today I'm going to be using the iFixit kit. Of course, everything that you need to actually take apart the screen is in this kit, all the different bits, and they're magnetic, and there's a parts tray, so can't beat that. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Just a disclaimer, Apple does require replacement parts to be synced with the iPhone after replacing the screen. Also, there's no software currently available to the public, so as a result, you're going to lose True Tone and auto brightness functionality, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our cracked iPhone 13. As you see right there, it's pretty mangled up. I accidentally cracked it by running it over with my Jeep. But the OtterBox actually protect the back of it pretty well, so definitely recommend a nice OtterBox case. It definitely did work. So make sure your batteries at least 25% or lower before taking it apart. Keep in mind, lithium-ion batteries will explode if higher than that under heat. So with that said, go ahead and turn your iPhone off. Mine is actually dead. We're going to go ahead and grab the heat gun and start heating around the bottom portion of the phone to actually break apart the glue so we can pull off this mangled up screen. So the first thing we're going to do is grab our iFixit kit, and we're going to get the P2 pendulum screw bit. This is what we're going to use to actually take apart the phone. This will be the first two screws at the bottom of the phone. So one thing that's really good about the iFixit kit is the magnetic bits are really good, especially for these small screws. And also it comes with a part tray, so definitely it keeps your screws in order. Now that we got the bottom screws removed, we can actually start heating up the phone a little bit more, and this is when you're going to use a suction cup to help pry away the screen from the body of the phone. Okay, so we're going to grab our heat gun. We're going to put it in the medium setting. You don't want to be too hot because you don't want to hurt the internal components of the phone. So we're going to go ahead and get started with heating up the phone. I like to go kind of in a circle of motion, left to right, right to left. Really doesn't matter too much as long as you keep it moving. Keep in mind, if you keep it in one place too long, you could damage your phone or even damage the internal components, which will make your phone useless. Might as well be a brick. So take your time with this and keep touching it to make sure it doesn't get too hot. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get our suction cup out now that the screen is nice and hot. So keep in mind, we can be a little bit more rough on this screen since it's pretty much completely destroyed. So I'm going to use a little bit of force to pry open the screen to pull it away from the base of the unit. I'm going to go ahead and pull my prying tool as I make a little hole right here. And this will help separate the screen. Again, we're starting at the bottom of the screen. Keep in mind, safety goggles or glasses are recommended just because this screen is completely shot. It's glass everywhere. You definitely don't want to get that under your eyes. Also recommend a nice pair of gloves too, so you don't get your hands full of glass. Keep in mind, you don't want to put the prying tool too far in there. You don't want to go over 2 millimeters because there are some important components inside the phone. But as you see right there, I'm using the suction cup and the prying tool to go ahead and spread the screen apart from the body. You can see right there we got the bottom of the screen lifted off the body. Now we can go ahead and work on the left side of the phone. We're going to go ahead and reheat the phone again to break apart that glue. Keep in mind this glue gets pretty solid once it cools down a little bit, so you do have to reheat it from time to time. Okay, now that it's nice and warmed up, we're going to get our suction cup and the prying tool again. As you see right here, this screen is so damaged that it's coming off pretty easy, almost like butter. Keep those goggles on, there is glass shards flying all over the place. And afterwards, make sure to clean up your area with a nice vacuum cleaner so you don't get glass in your hands, on your eyes, all over the place with this screen just because it's so cracked up. So this is actually coming off pretty easy. I actually heated up the whole phone. So right there with the prying tool, you can just see me getting right into the deep of it. It's coming off very nice. On the top portion, be very, very careful. There's a lot of sensors for your cameras up there, especially for the face recognition. You don't want to damage that, so take your time with the top portion. You don't really want to go deeper than 1 millimeter on this portion because those sensors can be very fragile, and you know, front-facing cameras are very important nowadays, so just be kind of careful with that. So right here with my case, I noticed that it was already coming apart, the screen from the metal portion of the screen, as you see right there. So I'm just going to put my finger in here. Again, wear gloves, guys. I'm just a little crazy doing this with no gloves. You can see the internal components are ready. You can see the connectors right there for your sensors on your camera. So gently pry it open. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and open up the phone. Keep in mind, you want to open this like a book, right to left, because all the cables are still connected to the screen and you don't want to damage that. With my case, there's a lot of portions I'm going to have to take off in a little bit because for some reason I only got the screen, the glass portion of the screen, and not the metal frame of the screen. So what I'm doing right here is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery from the phone itself after I pull some glass shards out of the inside of the case. Don't want those in there. But first thing we're going to do is actually unplug the battery. So now we're going to get back into our iFixit kit. What we're going to do now is remove 3 Phillips number 00 screws that are holding the battery and display connector actually to the phone and to the display. So we're going to go ahead and get that removed now. Okay, so now that we got that cover off, we're going to firstly remove the battery connector right over here. I'm going to use some tweezers, or you can use your finger, whatever you want to use. But once you get that disconnected, go ahead and try to bend it a little further away so it doesn't reconnect itself. You want power off the screen before actually taking anything off. You don't want to damage your motherboard. So there we go. So that's the 2 connectors you want to take off first. Of course, start off with the battery, and then you're going to unplug the display cable, and we're going to go ahead and take off the other portion, which has to do with the front sensors. So let's go to get into that. Stay tuned. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the 2 Phillips 000 screws and 1 Y00 screws, securing the front sensor connector cover, and then remove the cover with your tweezers or by swinging it open with your fingers. Keep in mind with mine, this actually didn't stick to the screen, so it's a little bit different. Most of the time they'll still be on your display. Mine is kind of just bundled up right over here. Nonetheless, we're going to reuse this, so be very gentle with these connectors. Now that we got the 2 Phillips 00 screws out, we're going to go ahead and grab our fancy Y000 bit and take off the remaining screw. So now we're going to go ahead and remove the bracket. I'm going to use this little prying tool right here. Be nice and gentle with it. You can either use a prying tool, tweezers, or your hands. This one has a little hook at the end, so you have to kind of wiggle and jiggle it until it comes out. Again, be very careful. All these components are pretty fragile. So now that we have that off, we're going to go ahead and unplug our sensor from the logic board. It's right over here on the side. Gently pull up on it. It's right there. So I'm just going to gently pull up and disconnect. And now we're going to actually have to take off the frame that got stuck to the phone. My case is quite interesting, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it so I don't damage anything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the front portion since this is the most fragile. I'm gently putting my finger between the phone and the pretty much bracket of the screen, and I'm gently prying away. So we need to take all this off. So I'm just gently pulling away. As you notice, I'm putting tension right there at the base of the glue and pulling it away, and it's coming off pretty easy. So just like that. Again, be very careful to not put too much pressure on the logic board, but this should come off pretty easy since the glue is already pretty much dried. And there it is. That's the way it should look by the time you pull that off. Okay, we're going to take a second and look at the beautiful inside of your iPhone 13. Look at that beauty, all that hard work. Now's the time to go ahead and dust away some of the glass shards. You don't want any of that inside your phone. So you can get a little blower and blow it off or dust it off. Just make sure there's no remnants of any metals or glass inside of here because you don't want to fry your logic board. But overall, everything's looking pretty solid, which is a good sign, but you did a good job. So now what we're going to do next is we're actually going to get the glue. So the cool thing about the kit that I got from Amazon, it comes with everything you need, from the screwdrivers to the glue, and actually comes with a screen protector for your brand new screen. It's not the best quality one, but at least it'll hold up from scratches and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and take a look. There's your screen protector for your brand new screen, and a little nice microfiber cloth. And this is actually what we're going to be using right now. This is the waterproof glue. This is how you keep your phone attached and water resistant. And there's a beautiful iPhone 13 screen. Nice. So this is going to be able to go right on there. If you notice, we do have to use our front sensors from our original camera and put it on this one. I'll show you how to do that shortly, but let's go ahead and put the glue on. So we're going to pill right over here. You'll see a little pill tab, so you're going to pill it just like that. The black portion is actually the glue. You're going to go ahead and line this up as perfect as you can to your phone, and we're going to actually kind of press down on it and leave it there for a little bit. So we're going to come back and use a screwdriver to hold everything in place. So that's your power connector. Again, the middle part is just really just to make sure everything's lined up. It's like a guide. So I'm going to gently make sure everything's in place before I actually really push down on it with a screwdriver. So just make sure everything's lined up. This is pretty important if you want your phone to be water resistant. So just take your time with this, line it up, and gently press down on it. Everything looks pretty good. Again, this comes with the kit, so I recommend getting the kit so you don't really need any extras, and this really works with this phone, so you don't want to get something that's the wrong type of glue. Easy to use, as you see by this video. Pretty easy to put this in place properly. As the glue actually adheres to the phone, I'm going to go ahead and remove the front sensor from our original screen. And this is a front sensor connector, but this is held on by 3 Y00 screws. It comes off pretty easy. Just don't damage it. We're going to use this bracket again for the new display, so just make sure you put all your screws somewhere safe. We have one more over here. These are very small screws. Again, thank you iFixit for making such a good screwdriver bit, because this really works. The magnet's amazing. You're not going to lose any of your screws. So we're going to go ahead and put that bracket somewhere safe, because we're going to have to reuse that. And then this is actually the sensor connectors that we're going to have to use shortly. Okay, now is a good time to pause the video so you can see which way the sensor connector actually went. Just in case you forget where it goes, come back to this portion of the video. It's very important, the placement of the sensor. So now we're going to put the sensor connector on the new display. Again, it only goes into one direction, and everything actually holds on pretty good and clips into place. Once you get that in place, we're going to put the bracket back on and screw it on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get back to the glue. What I like to use is a fine bit screwdriver to go in there and really press down on the frame and the glue so it adheres to the body of the phone. Again, this is what makes your phone water resistant. Once you get it perfectly fine, you'll actually notice an easy pill. Let's go ahead and see if it easily pills off, guys. And there you have it. There's no black glue on the back of the blue paper, so that means you actually got the glue in the right position. So that's the way it should look with no black glue on it. There you go, guys. Let's get ready to put the screen on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and align the screen. We're not going to clip it in place just yet. We're going to put our connectors back on, and we're going to test out the phone and make sure it powers on. So once you get everything plugged in, go ahead and plug it into the wall if you need more power. My phone is completely dead. And before you put all the brackets back in place, we definitely want to make sure the screen works. Now that we get all the connectors in place, we're going to go ahead and turn on the screen and see what happens. Moment of truth, guys. Cross your fingers. Awesome, guys. Look at that. The screen works perfectly fine. So now what you want to do is put all your brackets back in place. You're going to follow the steps in reverse. And then, moment of truth, we're going to clip it in place and your phone is ready to go. Now that you got all the screws back in place, we're going to go ahead and gently press on the side so we can make sure all the clips actually clip into your phone. Take your time with this, you earned this. And there you have it, guys. Pretty easy install. Everything that I used today is actually down below in the links, including the whole kit I got off of Amazon for this screen repair. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. And remember to subscribe and help my channel grow. Ghost57 out. I'll see you in the next one.